you, Nat. Excited for a game 2, as we've had some fantastic Dota today. It's just a different kind of Dota when it's TI qualifiers, it feels like, Ponma.
Yep, definitely. I think we have with these qualifiers. I think no one else can say that. Or these C players are quote unquote mechanically just like brainless. You know, all brawn, no brain. Like these players are using their brains a lot when they play. Like so much more than I expected. Honestly, I'm really impressed with the level of play that has been going on in these qualifiers. I think it's the most competitive qualifiers we've ever had in C, like ever. Period.
It does feel like, because I'm usually casting SEA qualifiers for TI, and it usually feels like there's 2 or 3 teams to look out for. This is one of the times where there's 5 or 6 teams to look out for when it comes to C right now. And as you mentioned, it's been so disciplined. The teams are looking polished. Every team, you heard like Fnatic in their interview saying how they've been scrimming and practicing for a month. Like everything has gone into doing the best, playing the best possible Dota for these qualifiers.
Yeah, like what I heard from scrims was that like Omega was one of the weak teams, like one of the weakest teams among the tier 1 teams. But then they come out and they bring Fnatic to game 3 games like 60 minutes. Like
yeah,
it's insane.
Well, unfortunately, Omega, I believe, got eliminated in the lower bracket. Was that correct?
Oh,
Somewhat surprising because they look so good. I think they lost earlier today. But like you say, yeah, they put on such a good showing, and that really goes to say one of the teams who got knocked out like early on was able to take a game off Fnatic, who are in the top 3 now. So
Yep.
when it comes to SEA Dota, anybody can beat anybody. It feels like at times. You had the big upset, SMG getting eliminated as well. Obviously, a lot of hype and attention around that team because of some of the players, but they got taken out by Execration, so we'll have to see where things lie at the end of these qualifiers. But for now, we want to see where things lie at the end of this best of 3. Boom, having taken game 1, are looking for the 2-0. And we'll see how these lanes start to unravel. Bottom lane, early action, as we're going to see Kezcute trade his life for the kill on Bok, and it's going to be a first blood going the way of the Lion.
Yep, that feels pretty good for the Lion. Not so much for the DP. It doesn't get anything from that. Doesn't even get the XP. The Lion's already level 2.
Yeah. I think the Lion got his kill first, so I think Death Prophet got a tiny bit of XP, I guess, but
Oh yeah.
not sure. Dying at very similar times, but yeah, the first blood gold a bit better, so very slight, slight edge going the way of TNC, but not too big a deal.
I think the lane that will really change the game is this mid lane. Like how much Amel can stand to this Lina, because he picked this Kunkka into the Lina, and it's not an easy matchup. Like a lot of players pick the Lina after seeing the Kunkka.
Every time I look over, he is like nailing LSAs and then securing last hits with it. So far from what I've seen, Mikoto is playing this lane incredibly well for what is usually a tough matchup.
Yep, it really looks like Mikoto is gonna have gonna pop off this game. My prediction might be a bit off.
He is. Yeah. Keeping those fiery soul stacks up so he's doing as much damage as possible. He's standing on the high ground. Usually it's Kunkka pulling the Lina. It's the opposite happening here. Mikoto just having a field day, keeping that 3 stacks up. He's got water runes to fall back to, but he knows he's got the edge here as Armel's bottle finally arrives. That's much needed for this Kunkka.
Yeah, the Lina does have a good matchup against the Kunkka, but this early, I'm not sure he's supposed to have like 8 denies already, 9 denies.
Yeah, he just denied a range creep in front of Armel's face with another LSA. Absolutely sick play from this Lina so far. Well, apparently Lina is a Mikoto special.
The Oracle is already stacking at 3 minutes. The Phoenix as well, like this is the meta right now. Supports. Just stacking.
Yep. And yeah, both teams, bottom lane, some aggression. They're going on Bok. They don't get the cogs to pull him in though. But he's going to be A-okay.
So Kezcute on the clock actually placed a sentry at the big camp in a triangle on Dire, just to prevent the stacks for, I guess for the Kunkka. That's pretty heads up play. Like all these teams are like adjusting to this meta really well, I think.
And Oracle did the same thing. He went into that Radiant triangle of camps and drop the center on the Ancients.
Yep.
Now your fish food.
And both teams obviously have that big hard carry, so both Medusa, TB, more than able to farm those stacks. A TB with like even just a Dragon Lance and Metamorphosis can slowly deal with an Ancient stack. More stacks, Oracle, Boomy, double stacking the neutrals. I believe actually missed one, but he's got it is Stack City right now. This is, you know, it feels like we need to buckle in for the late game. And I mean, there is always a chance that one team kind of snowballs away with some kills, but both teams do seem to be gearing up for more late game oriented Dota right now.
Yeah, we are 4 minutes in and we are already like gearing up for late game. My god. But yeah, I think these stacks are most likely gonna go to the Kanka. You wanna accelerate the Kanka so the Kanka can make space for the Terrorblade. The Terrorblade doesn't really need the stacks right now. Anyway, he can go to the triangle and farm fine.
Alright, well, before we get to late game, right now, early game, laning stage Dota. Who do you see either team trying to make some moves, rotations? Like, I mean, obviously, Lina Kunkka, we talk about being this explosive matchup. Both heroes with kill threat. Is that going to be something supports look to kind of set up?
I think both sides have the capability to gank the mid lane, but both mid lanes also have the capability to rotate. Like, the Kunkka could easily go bot to kill the Medusa once this DP has more levels, like level 5. Like, this Medusa will die to the bot, and the DP, they will just chase her down. And I don't think this clock can do much. On the flip side, like Lina as well, if Lina gets like a power rune, he can just walk into the...
Alright. Oh! He won't even get the kill. He dove in aggressively thinking he had it, but the Fairy Fire catching him by surprise. Oh boy. Very aggressive play coming up from the support. So yeah, we'll see if those rotations start happening, because both mid laners have hit level 6 now. So potential I mean, first power rune. I mean, we'll go back to something you said the last 2 games is, yeah, keep an eye on these power runes, and that could be something that makes a big difference for these first couple of rotations.
Yep, Teams is ready here on the 6-minute rune. See?
Rune spawns bottom. Double damage.
Ooh. That would be
Kunkka
very
TPing
useful
top.
to clear the stacks.
Okay. FBZ could be in some trouble. It gets caught by the X. The boat follow up. He's got 10 stick charges. Is this going to be enough to turn him around? Throws out the Ravage. Hits Gabby on the TB, who's only level 5 here. FBZ still alive for now, as there is going to be a kill on the Death Prophet elsewhere. FBZ goes down to Gabby. They trade off laners.
Yeah, but the Lina...
yelling out the Kunkka. I love it.
The Lina actually didn't move. Like, the DP just died to clock Medusa.
Armel.
Which is...
Hyde trying to juke him in the trees, dodges the Torrent.
Oh.
Armel still looking for that right click. He'll find it. Okay. Took him a little bit to get there, but he got there.
But Mikoto is freely farming mid because the Kunkka left, and he tried to pressure the mid tower, but Teams is ready. He's here to drag the creep waves back. Good play by TNC.
Well, unfortunately for FBZ, his aggression, he got very close to bringing down Gabby. He is...
Oh, top! They're gonna do something special.
Oh, Sunder play.
Yep.
Abby runs in. The X Torrent is there right when the Sunder... And that's going to be a back-to-back kill. He won't have a TP when he respawns.
That's so creative. So good.
He was not expecting them to be waiting for him when he TP'd back in.
Yep, after killing the type once, instead of going back to the jungle to take the stacks, the Kunkka actually stayed in the top lane because Gabby was like telling Armel like, yo, let's kill him again. I got Sunder. I'm gonna go tank the big camp and like get to low HP. So creative.
Especially because when the first time they killed the Tide, TB was still level 5, so he used the time where TB was dead and respawning to get that level 6 in the jungle. Very heads-up play.
Another one.
As it stands, it's Armel's Kunkka off to a fantastic start, making these moves. He gets an X, Boat pulls the Phoenix back in. There is a dive, but they've got the damage and the chain stun. Tim's the Earthspike follow-up, able to secure the kill. Armel Kunkka really popping off so far.
Yep,
2-0-2.
The TNC supports also control the 8-minute power rune if I'm not mistaken. So the Lina didn't get the power rune. Like, these power runes are so important. Like, this Lina feels so low impact because the Lina is not getting the power rune.
Lane. Boomy gonna run right into hide, and it's gonna be another X setup. This time there's no boat, but they'll have an X into a torrent. And they get the follow-up lockdown and damage from Gabby's TB. They get an Earth Spike now on the KEZQ Clockwork, and TNC, this is a different game, and they're gonna actually be at the enemy Ancients here. Can they farm this? This would be huge for them. With a Kunkka, you sure as hell bet they can. Boom in the neighborhood, and with a Ravage back up, but I think they're going to be too late for this one. They want to try and fight this one. Lina, level 9, the Ravage coming out into play. Makoto just trying to get what damage out he can before he dies. He's actually going to be okay, as the Stone Gaze from the Medusa used to deter TNC from sticking around, and also allowing them to bring down the Kunkka. So big kills for Boom, even though they lose most of their Ancient stack.
Yep, the only thing that was kind of bad to me in the last 1 minute of what both teams did very well in both like all regards, except I feel like Bo, instead of moving like he moved to mid lane, or like he tried to connect to the triangle, but I think he could have just like pressured the bot lane with his Exo instead of wasting all that time. Like that could have made all the difference for TNC.
Very different game. We're actually seeing aggression. TNC decide we're not going to sit back and play full farm game with Armel on Kunkka, which is one of his signature heroes. He's always been an amazing Kunkka player. They're setting the tempo. Maybe perhaps overstaying their welcome a little bit there, but taking away the Ancient stacks and losing those kills, they're probably feeling like at least, you know, they're just sending a message. You're going to make Boom a little bit scared. Both teams do look to pressure the off lanes and trade towers, it seems here.
Yep, for sure. And it all stemmed from the 6-minute rune that the Kunkka got, right? The DD rune bot, and he TP'd top straight away. That was the start of the whole chain of events. But the Lina actually got the 10-minute rune now. He got the haste rune. So maybe Boom are gonna have the edge for this next fight.
Yeah. A power rune with his item timing. The Yule Scepter is going to be coming up, so very nice time to have this rune. We'll see what the response potentially from TNC might be. Armel getting tankier and tankier. His Kunkka about to finish just a Sanj, and with the double bracer, he is a hard hero to initiate on.
Yeah, the TNC heroes are gonna be really hard to kill because of this Oracle as well, and the boat buff. So Boom need to be careful about trying too hard to burst someone. They might overextend.
Alright. Well, we'll see what the next move is going to be if they can find a way to use this haste rune. Clockwork level 6, sitting behind Lina, both maybe considering a setup as well as just keeping Makoto well protected. One thing TNC have done really well, they've got this ward behind the mid-tier 1 tower, which is at least giving some good info. Saw the couriers coming out with a smoke, so perhaps they're going to read this smoke movement. We'll have to find out because it's headed towards the bottom lane. TB needs to be careful not to be the one getting called. The LSA from behind the trees here. Gabby, the hook shot going to catch him as well with the Laguna Blade. Is the damage there? You betcha. KEZQ with the perfect Cogs push. Enough to bring down Gabby. A big kill. As Makoto's going to find a +1. The Oracle was not there to save the poor TB.
Yep, and that's why you feel this Oracle hero is picked a lot less. Like, you don't feel good about being the one blocking the smoke, but you can't really save your teammates either, like in a situation like that. Maybe Gabby being a bit too deep on the map, trying to farm the enemy medium camp like that.
And with that, a potential tier 1 mid tower is going to really open this map up for Boom Esports. Armel did grab the next rune. We talk about these power runes. Arcane rune for him. We'll have to see if TNC now, with Exorcism just coming back up, if they try and make a move of their own. They're being scouted. I mean, both teams getting really good deep vision down. This Radiant Ward around this Dire Ancients going underwarded.
Yep, you didn't see the smoke though. They're going.
No. Armel gets the X initiation. They throw out the X and they won FBZ. He's got a Ravage if he wants to go for it. And he's going to make the call to do so, but he still gets bursted by the Finger of Death. And with this Supernova in the middle, surely they can bring it down with 4 heroes here. And they'll kill the egg, perhaps get one more. Makoto's Lina came into this one. That's not looking good with the TB wraparound. 3 dead and a T1 tower exposed. Both teams not playing the same style of Dota we saw in Game 1. And it's going to be Armel with the low cooldowns from the Arcane Room, finding a 4th pickup on KEZQ here. Unless KEZQ's got some moves to make, which with the Cogs TP, no.
A nice attempt from KSQ to hook through the team fight. Maybe he wanted to stun enough heroes so that the egg will pop. But slightly careless by Mikoto, I think. Like, he overextended in the fight and he just got killed by Gabby's TB. Like, you don't expect a TB to be there. Well, why is this TB here, guys?
Yeah. It's crazy because, like, after game 1, when I saw these draft, like, TB Medusa, I was like, okay. If anything, you know, last game was very kind of slow in the early game. I thought this game would be even more so, but it's been the opposite. TNC, do you think this has been like a very intentional adjustment to play more aggressive, or is this just how the game flow is kind of going?
I think it's definitely intentioned. When they pick Kunkka into a losing matchup, I think they already knew that this was the kind of Dota they wanted to go for. They knew that even though the Kunkka will lose his lane, as long as he manages to make good rotations on the map, they can snowball off of it because they have a lot of objective damage. DP and TB, both of them can hit towers really fast. So as long as your Kunkka is able to make good kills on the map, you're going to be able to open up the map by killing the towers really early. So I think it's definitely a plan by TNC. It's no coincidence. And I think it's a good adjustment.
Yeah. Even Gabby, like last game is TB, I feel like you didn't see Gabby until 30 minutes. I mean, even later. This time around, we've seen Gabby. Yeah, he died when he farmed too aggressively in the enemy jungle, but he's helped push towers. He's come to multiple fights. He's 3-1 and 3. He's been involved in 6 kills.
The player that has like been quietly farming is actually the Lion. Like, he is almost 4k net worth. He already has a dagger.
Wow.
At 15 minutes.
True.
And this is against a clock, mind you. Like, usually it's tough to play a Lion against a clock. But the Lion has just been sitting in top lane farming. Like, the clock didn't go for him.
Alright, top lane. Lion using that blink to initiate on the Medusa. The follow-up is there. The torrent into boat. Have they got the damage? Tied in the neighborhood. Has Ravage in 3. Bok throws out the exit, and Dream Missile with the Stone Gaze wants Bok, the egg on top of it. But Bok, he gets away with the false promise to save him. Clockwork hooked into the tower. I don't think that's the place he wants to be. The egg will pop, but KSQ's going to go down there, trapped in the cogs. Great Earth Spike from Tim on 3 into a torrent. The follow-up damage to the Finger of Death. They get a second kill. Can they get more? Makoto, defensive Yule Scepter. I'm not sure that's going to help him all too much. He needs the LSA to help buy him some time, to buy him some space.
Gabby's here.
Dream Missile just standing still. Another stun gun, and with Gabby rocking out, here's the damage. TNC, they've got their carry getting involved early, just with the Yasha Dragonlance, and Dream Missile's got no escape. It's 4 dead. No heroes dying on the TNC side. What a team fight. They played that so well, Ponlo.
The save by Boomy. It was so picture perfect. The moment the Ravage hit the DP, he ulted, and before it hit him, it was so good.
Oh, you love to see Dota of this quality.
Yep, picture perfect fights. Always nice to see.
And that was with both teams having all their ultimates and TNC able to edge out with a win in that fight at least. And that's, I mean, again, we see Gabby come and get involved. He did kind of show up late for the cleanup, but very much intentionally so. He's completed an SMY now. Still just even with the Medusa in terms of farm. Doesn't quite have that flash farming split shot potential when it comes to keeping up, but when you look at some of these other cores, that's where, yeah, Kunkka, full 1,300 net worth ahead of the Lina, so Armel feeling like he's going to be a big force to deal with. He's almost completed a BKB, so he's going to have an additional 4k net worth in the next team fight.
Yeah, this Lina so far has really not been working out for Mikoto. Although he won the lane, he made like 0 rotations that worked out, I think. Like, and every fight it just feels like TNC have too much team fight. Even though your team has team fight, right? You have the Ravage, you have the Egg, but TNC's heroes are not dying in those spells. So when those spells finish, when your Ravage is done, your Egg has popped, TNC are still alive, and when they come for your Lina, you know, just a Lina, you're gonna die.
Well, TNC just keeping this bottom lane spammed. Armel using this Torrent X pullback, playing it very safe. Looks like he wants to just finish his BKB. Oh, he's got his BKB now before the next big fight. TNC have fully set up camp in this bottom Radiant jungle. Neither team with the best Roshing lineup. I mean, I guess Dire's lineup Rosh is fine, but I don't think they want to go for a Rosh unless they win a fight or get some kills first.
Yep, maybe after the BKB they might try, but even then there's a Stone Gaze and there's Hook Shot. There's definitely like space for error, I think, if you rush a Rosh.
You can see they're making a smoke move. They farm out most of this bottom lane. Gabby even continuing to pressure with his illusions. He's going to leave his hero down here while the 4 teammates of his smoke towards top. He can TP to the outpost if a fight breaks out to kind of make sure he shows up, although he is a bit low on mana. Doesn't look like any kind of a team fight is going to happen, but it's Makoto who may get caught out here if he's not careful.
This is too greedy, my man.
Yeah. Surely no way out for him.
Yep.
And Gabby's already out of bottom lane. He's like, okay, my teammates showed top. I need to be no way near any enemy heroes down bottom.
Yep. I mean, TNC have really good ops on the bottom side of the map. I don't think Gabby's gonna get caught out at all. And they really like the damage. Like I said, this Boom lineup, they really like the damage before this Medusa is online. I mean, they have the Lina damage, but Lina is dead, so there's nothing for Gabby to worry about.
It feels like these upcoming team fights, you know, outside of the Medusa who has some physical damage, these BKBs, both Kunkka and Terabyte, TB going for a fairly early BKB means, you know, Ravage, Clockwork, Phoenix, these heroes can't really do a whole lot. They don't have answers to BKBs.
Yep. I think TNC's approach to the next fight is gonna be actually to kill the Tide and the Phoenix.
Tims gets kind of jumped on the line. He does manage to blink out. The dive damage doesn't kick in right away, so he blinks before the damage hits him. And Boom not finding the initiation they were hoping for. Kaner in bottom. Boom, smoking up, making their move, wrapping around top towards that enemy jungle. Fortunately for them, they're not going to find any heroes right away, but back around the mid lane, they may be able to catch Armel, but he's playing this game so cautiously. Even with the more aggressive game too. Yeah, exactly. It's aggression, but it's disciplined aggression. He may still go back in and get caught though. The gush is there, but he instantly BKBs. No harm, no foul, he says. Yeah, you know, I feel like players are much more willing to kind of spam these BKBs in any moment because of the changes now where it's just, you know, 9 to 6 seconds.
Yep. Boom, they're gonna try to force something because they have the Medusa Aga. This is one of their strongest timings.
Yeah. I'm good without a BKB, that's 4K net worth essentially gone. They're forcing this Dreamer Cell with the Aga you mentioned. Koda getting himself in the pit as well. The Lina with a BKB. This is a big item pickup as Death Prophet goes charging in. The Ravage is there. Where's the save? This time the Oracle. He gets stunned. The save doesn't come perhaps in time. He drops down from the Yule Scepter, but Boom, he could not get the false promise off. Makoto's BKB protecting him on the Lina. The Clockwork hook shotting in is going to catch the Oracle, forces a defensive self-false promise. That's not what you want if you're Boomy. And TNC in all sorts of trouble. Armel's BKB down for 10 more seconds, but Gabby with the BKB on his Terrorblade, he's come in. He's actually rocking this fight. Two-man torrent catches out the Medusa, takes him down. And FBZ could be next. He blinks away, but the X is going to pull him back in. He goes for the TP out. It's going to be close. He gets out. Just barely. Buyback on the Lion.
Boom. They could have just finished the Roche. Like, they didn't have to chase.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Once they killed Death Prophet, that was the big kill it felt like.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna watch this replay and like look back at this moment, and it was definitely theirs. But yeah, Boomy didn't manage to save the DP, but you know, your opponent makes mistakes and you capitalize on it. They overchase. Gabby with the sick wrap around again with this TB. He always does this somehow. He just comes from the back, waiting in the wake.
I feel like these fights get a lot harder for Boom if some of these next items come up, like Boomy with a Blink Dagger on Oracle. That sounds like a pretty big game changer because he's going to be almost always able to position so that he can get those saves off.
Yep, it's really gonna be on the Clockwork to somehow you need to find the Oracle. But it's gonna be hard.
Bit of a pause coming out, giving us the time to gather our thoughts. TNC with a lead, now with an Aegis to back it up as well. I mean, as far as this game, you know, going on into the mid to later stage of the game, the Medusa TV matchup, what do you make of how these two heroes match up as this game goes on?
My understanding of it is that when the Medusa hits the Aga timing, and if he has a Skadi, that's where he's stronger than the TB. With like Medusa is stronger than TB with 2 items, right? But or even 3 items, I think Medusa is stronger than TB. But the moment you hit the 4th item on TB where you have like some Daedalus MKB, if the Medusa buys a butterfly, that's where you really outrange and outdamage the Medusa, I think. And you always have the option to Sunder. You just need to not get killed in the Stone Gaze as the TB, and then after that, you're just gonna outrange the Medusa and kill him.
Bottom lane. Boomy in some trouble. He got jumped on here. Does get the false promise off, so they get the kill on the clock, and I'm sure Boomy is going to be a-okay. He heals himself through it, so it's a clockwork kill. Armel continuing to cut this mid-wave, just using that X to protect himself.
Yeah, I think Boom's chances of winning this game were a lot higher before that Roche fight because of the Medusa's timing with the Manta Aga. But right now with the Aegis on the TB, he's gonna get a Skadi soon. He's gonna hit this Medusa in the fights. He's gonna throw the kitchen sink, man. TNC is just gonna throw the kitchen sink. Like, Boom have no save. Like, even if they see a Tide, I'm sure TNC will just X-Mark and bolt this Tide and kill the Tide with the EXO. As once this DP has BKB, they will just full commit onto this Tide, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's where, yeah, the Oracle doesn't have to make those, you know, highlight level plays with the false promise that we saw like in top lane. When Death Rob's BKB, you just run him with Exorcism. It's like a completely different scenario. Same time, FBZ, his game may change. He may be looking for that, you know, more Blink, Ravage, Initiation type approach where he doesn't show himself on the front lines. TNC continue to control this map, you know, playing with this Aegis, they've managed to kind of maintain and slightly increase their gold lead, but it's still a, you know, fairly small difference in terms of the net worth of the two teams. TNC. Armel, what's he going to find here? It's a Dusa Illusion. The real one's further up. Exorcism getting popped early. I think Bok didn't quite realize it was an illusion. Dream Missile hiding in the trees. He actually manages to TP out. Hyde was a perfect distraction. I think Hyde may be helping save his life, and he TPs out as well. That's Exorcism down.
Yep, somehow Gabby is rapping again. It's his MO on this hero, I think. Like, every fight he's just trying to come from the back.
Yeah. Bok wonders where his Ancients have gone. It's the Tide aggressively farming them. Boom. Doing a good job delaying this game. It was a 4k gold lead, now it's a 3k gold lead while TNC have an Aegis. So they're actually getting slightly more farm because TNC trying to make team plays while Boom kind of outmaneuver them and split the map.
Yep, I think TNC should actually just force the top tower now because you know that like at least 2 heroes TP'd out of top, right? And you know that those heroes are trying to move out on the map. So I think because you have Aegis on TB, even though you have no EXO, I think TNC can just use maybe 3 heroes to start hitting the top tower and make Boom, you know, sort of force their heroes to come back because to them it's like, guys, there's no EXO, we shouldn't be losing this top tower. But if you look at the map, like they have to walk quite a distance to the top lane to defend it.
Alright. Well, we'll see how they fare. I mean, as far as high ground defense goes, I guess they've got plenty of capable. I mean, just a Medusa you can kind of sit behind, I guess, is going to give them plenty of high ground options, but they've got to, like you say, you've got to just force them back.
Yep, I'm interested to see what Gabby is going to buy. Currently, he's queuing up a dagger on the TP. I'm not sure. I thought he would go something like either a Daedalus or a Butterfly because it feels really bad for a Medusa to buy MKB, I think. Because your split shot doesn't benefit from the proc, so yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we'll see where. Yeah, he's gonna have that, I guess, item slot freeing up in the Aegis soon. As it feels like, yeah, we're only 26 minutes in, but both Dusa and TB already kind of approaching that late game item status.
Yeah, everyone's so rich in this game. I mean, all the cores at least, except Bok.
Yeah,
it's a little sad. But it happens. Bok is basically like the Tide killer this game. DP is like just his job is just to kill the Tide.
You can do that. That makes the life of the supports and even like, yeah, heroes like the TB who wants to be able to just go in with his BKB meta to kill people that much easier. Does look like this Aegis is not going to lead to too much more. As Boom have managed to slowly claw away at this goal difference and themselves in a pretty good position.
Oh, I didn't notice, but it's pretty good that the TB has the Imp Claw, because the crit works on the illusions as well.
Ah, oh yeah. Good point.
It's pretty good for him.
We'll see those tier 3 neutral items coming out soon. Curious to see which ones come into play. Could be a game where like TB with a spider leg so he can replace his boots could be really nice.
Yeah, I think he's gonna change his mind. I really doubt that he'll buy a dagger, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he wants to just buy a dagger and jump onto this Lina. That would be pretty insane, but...
I think eventually, like, it seems like the, as we saw last game, 50, 60 minute, 6-slotted TB, you want to have that Swift Blink in there. So maybe he just sees this game going late game, so he's like preemptively getting a Blink or something even.
Yeah, I mean, it could be pretty cool, right? Like, maybe he thinks the Phoenix is gonna egg on the high ground or something. He needs to blink on the high ground to hit it. No, he can't see it. I don't know. It's interesting for sure. I think he might decide otherwise.
I was about to say he may not need a butterfly anymore. He just got an Elven Tunic, so that alone gives you a decent amount of evasion if he wants to rock that. But it seems like he's going to prioritize the damage of the Orb of Destruction.
Oh, now he already has a double slow with the Skadi and the Orb of Destruction. So Medusa is gonna get hit. He's gonna get the kitchen sink thrown at him.
Which way Medusa goes? So far, not commit. Okay, let's say Skadi or Butterfly. Which one's he going to commit for? He actually picks up the quarterstaff. So it looks like Butterfly's the priority.
Yep.
Sees the TB without MKB and is like, okay, Butterfly is going to make me really tanky.
Makes sense. Gabby actually bought the dagger and they smoked up immediately.
Oh, okay. Medusa's courier needs to not get sniped here. That's has got the quarterstaff. If you want that Butterfly, you don't want to be losing your courier. Hims goes for the D-ward play as TNC were smoked up, but they kind of revealed themselves as soon as they plant that sentry there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Medusa just sending out Manta illusions and positioning behind these towers to farm as safely as possible while TNC try and force his tier 2 top. I love every time I feel like we see TNC in the top lane, FBZ is always at these dire ancients. He's doing such a good job maximizing his farm while avoiding fighting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we see consistently on this player, right? His Pangolier, yesterday on his Mars. Like, FBZ just knows how to farm. Like, and he's not taking the farm, he's not snatching away the farm from his team. He's just being damn good, at reading the map and assessing his risks.
Perhaps a small thing, but in a game like this that's now slowed down, having items like a Philosopher's Stone could feel really nice. Phoenix Hide. If the Phoenix last game had a Philosopher's Stone, that would have, I feel like, completely changed his game, helping him get some of those item timings a bit earlier, and Hyde going to be a happy Phoenix.
Oh, he blinked in.
This pickup. We'll see the follow-up. He's got to be careful of blinking it, because, his teammates aren't necessarily going to be blinking in and backing him up.
Yeah, he might make the fight really awkward for his Lion and his Oracle to play, if he keeps trying to play the fight like in that manner.
Here we go. Smoke up from Boom. They've got the Butterfly complete on Medusa, so no MKB anytime soon for the TB, who does have that Swift Blink queued up for now. He may have to change his mind. Armel on the bottom room does have a BKB for the Blink Ravage. Going to look to stun him up. The LSA follow up with the egg. They're just going to burst him, not give him a chance to BKB. All right. Probably you want to go for the hook shot there, I guess, not the Ravage, but FBZ saw an opening, and I don't blame him for taking it.
Yep, I mean, you don't see the Oracle, right? You don't know where the Oracle is, so the safe play is just to Ravage. Yep. So you know you can hit the Oracle with the Ravage if he tries to save. But yeah, I don't think TNC is too upset about it, honestly. Because they used the egg as well. I think the egg was a little bit of an overkill.
Yeah, but the problem is, Roche is actually up, so this could just be Boom getting Roche number 2. So this is Roche with Ag Shard and Cheese.
Kunkka has no buyback.
Yeah, TNC knowing this may want to contest this one. They've got the BKB Death Prophet, so can run in with the Exorcism. This is where maybe not having Supernova can come into play, though.
This is so brave from Boom because they don't actually know that the Kunkka has no buyback. So for them to be doing this is like really, really brave. No, two ultis are down and they're forcing a Roche like this. I think it's a mistake, honestly.
Yeah, they're backing off now. I think they realize, okay, they can delay this a lot, and Kunkka's about to respawn.
I think they just tenderize the meat for TNC to take it, right? Like TNC just
Yeah,
gonna
that's-
walk in there right now. No Ravage, no egg. Let's eat it for ourselves.
Yeah, can Boom stop them going for that? That feels like a big if, and if anything, it feels like the safe play here is just to give them a free Roche, but we really want to just give up an uncontested Roshan. We'll have to find out what Boom's approach to this is going to be. TNC themselves not feeling confident enough to just walk into the pit, though.
Yep, he wanted to check the power rune in case there was a DD or illusion. But the egg is coming up in 10 seconds, so I'm not so sure that TNC should just force it anymore. Maybe they should smoke up and try to get a fight first.
And the Ravage only 30 seconds away, so
Okay, never
they're
mind.
going in. They know the exact Ravage timing, I'm guessing, so they feel confident they can make this play.
Yep.
It's going to kind of get an idea of what's going on. He can egg around the Roche wall. He can cause a lot of problems here with a potential supernova. And they're going to look to go in. Dream Missile making the run to go charging in with the Aghanim's Gush from the Tide. Doing a lot of damage here. They get the Hex into the Impale. They want to go to do some great force up as well as a hook shot. Pezcute helping his buddy out, but he does pay the price for it, instantly buying back. Armel's BKB. Roche is very, very low. And Tide Ravage is back up. Watch out for that Blink Ravage. FBZ's ready for it. He goes in. He catches a couple. Oracle on the backlines. Doesn't get caught. Gets the false promise onto Gabby. Who gets a Sunder off onto FBZ. The egg does end up popping here. Can they go for the Roshan here with the Death Prophet dead and no Exorcism? I think Boom are going to be able to secure this one. Is there a Roshan still? Blink in! Boomy! He snatches it! Oracle gets the Aegis! Does he get anything else? He gets the Shard as well. And Gabby with the Metamorph. He's still holding his ground and fighting, but unfortunately, he's losing his teammates. Kunkka goes down. He's on his own. He gets pushed by the Cogs. Gabby may just need to get the hell out of here. With the Gush coming on through, this Duce is just looking absolutely unstoppable. Bok, he just fought back. He can't afford to die. The Oracle dies even with the Aegis a second time, and now they're going to lose Bok. The dieback is there. Gabby has to just farm some neutrals and get the hell out of there. What a fight from Boone. They delayed it just long enough to get a great Ravage off, and this Duce is well and truly online.
Yeah, what a steal from Boomy, but I want to point out, like, Boomy with that Aegis steal, but Cascade, like, to start everything off, TNC wanted to throw the kitchen sink at the Medusa. We saw their intent. They popped everything. They used BKBs, they used both. Cascade, he force-stuffed in, he stopped the initiation, and he force-stuffed, he hooked in, and he force-stuffed the Medusa out. And they just wasted their BKBs, and they wasted the Ghost Ship. They wasted everything on one Clockwork, and he just brought back.
Yeah. I think it was actually the Phoenix who forced off the Medusa.
Really? Yeah,
At least when
play.
I clicked the... Yeah, whoever it was. I clicked the Clockwork after he hookshot it in, and he still had his force stuff up. So it must have... Phoenix is the only other force stuff, but...
Yeah, these
I'm
four
not sure.
staffs, man. Every game, it feels like the four staffs are mattering so much.
It feels like, you know, old school Dota, like 3-4 years ago, every support, the only item you would ever buy is Force Staff. Force Staff got nerfed so many freaking times because this item was just OP. And Boom showing, hey, you know, Force Staff's still pretty good.
Yeah, back then, Tranquil Boost 4 staff was the only build any support ever did.
Yeah. Then Ice Frog added items like Glimmer Capes and Solar Crest, so nowadays, so it's like, okay, maybe we go this up, Aeon this, you know, Aether Lens. There's these like greedier items, but old school support is Force Staff only.
But yeah, no more Aegis, but there is a cheese on the Medusa. That is going to be really, really important for the next fight. Oh, but there's an MKB now on Gabby.
That's exactly what I was about to click, is that fight, it feels like, was won with almost the, you know, the surprise factor of this Dusa Butterfly. Now with MPB. The problem is, Dreamcell, he got so much gold from all that, he's about to have a Skadi as well, and with a level 25 Dusa, Skadi now in play, that is scary.
Yep, he also has a Aghanim Shard as well on the Cold Blood, so, you know, these TNC supports, you want to throw some Hexes, some Mana Drains, be careful, yo. Like, you might just get stunned and ravaged.
Yeah. The Ags plus Shard. Brutal stuff.
He also has a Paladin Sword on the Medusa.
TNC, they're smoked up, flying around this cliff. Both teams with an Observer up here. FBC's on the front line though. Does Bok make the play to go in? He pops the BKB Exorcism, he goes charging. Gabby goes onto the high ground with the Blink, and the BKB Dream Missile on the front lines. They can't fight into the Stone Gaze. Great use just to zone them away. Armel gets stoned. Don't have the damage to bring him down. So much evasion on this Kunkka, making him a hard target for the Deucer to deal with. But this Deucer is just perfectly positioned with all his teammates behind. Deucer is tanking through this, but getting low on mana. Pops a Manta, Blink, Ravage on a Gabby. Is the save going to be there? He gets the Oracle as well, but the Force Staff now coming in. Gabby, he's kept alive. Boomy's getting low. The egg does pop, and Boomy may just save his Terrorblade here. He blinks away. Is the heals going to be enough? No, it's not. He's dead. Boomy almost saved the day. Allowed TB to blink out, but the damage was just too much through the false promise that TB still died.
Boom are playing the fight so well. Like they saw this Exo, the Exo is running after Mikoto. Mikoto used all his spells, he has 3 stacks of Fairy Soul, he ran away. Bot wasted his Exo.
Armel. He's gonna get back to safety. Yeah, this Death Prophet is struggling to find a way into this game, it feels like.
Yeah, Boom is just pulling them into them. Like Boom is just maintaining, like keeping calm, maintaining their formation. The Medusa in front. The Tide is just waiting for the BKB on the Terrorblade to end. NPC sees the timing and he just jumps and they just kill everyone. Like the Oracle as well was hit by the Ravage.
Well, the Gabby TB was so close to working in game 1, and once again here in game number 2, things falling a little bit short for TNC as they lose their top racks. Not all over yet. Such a good start to this game. They were up like 20 kills to 10, in control of the Roshan, but then suddenly, boom, just with this butterfly. That seems to be the game. Going butterfly before this Skadi was such a heads-up decision from Dream Assault. It made all the difference for that one big team fight.
Yeah, and it really goes back to... I want to go back to like the Gabby Blink. Like, is that really necessary in this game? Like,
yeah,
it kind of felt like Dream Assault is doing his job really, really well. And Gabby is sort of like trying to play a mini game. I don't know. You know, in the fights.
He's trying to be too flashy, I guess, is what you're kind of saying. Like,
yeah. Like if the TB just held his goal and waited and saw what the Medusa wanted to buy. Let's say if the Medusa went to buy a Skadi first, right? Then the TB just buys a Daedalus. If the Medusa buys a Butterfly, the TB just buys an MKB. And then the next fight is just so much easier because you can actually kill this Medusa.
well, Medusa now throws in the Skadi, a Hurricane Pike, has a Daedalus queued up. Curious to see if she does end up. I mean, it's a bit slot limited. You have to kind of ditch the boots at some point, maybe, if you want to go for this. But we'll see how things go from here on out. As Boom is happy to slow things down. What is the, like, I guess, what's going to change what's happening in these team fights? It feels like fight after fight, Medusa, the positioning of Boom is just everyone behind the Medusa, nobody getting caught. What does TNC need to do to make these fights go better?
So for the last fight, what actually happened was TNC started on the Tide, but Bob, for some reason, he popped his Exo, but instead of committing on the Tide, he actually chased the Lina. Like, I think Bob actually needs to understand that he's the Tide killer, you know? They need to kill this Tide that's in front and force this Tide to use the Ravage in a very bad way for them to win the fight, because if you realize all the fights that Boom have been winning, it's always FBZ's Ravage that comes in at the perfect time and they chain stun, you know, the LSA, they chain stun the Mystic Snake, kill the TB, kill the Oracle, kill the Lion. Like, they just need to be able to kill whoever's in front.
Mikoto doing some frontline high ground sieging, gets the tier 3 tower down to half health. Not even just Seduce and Mikoto with the single target damage has a Daedalus now. But he's looking very, very farm. Level 25 Lina with the extra attack range, the extra fiery souls, stacks. Force to be reckoned with for sure.
Yep, when TNC initiate on whoever's in front, and they use their BKBs, their double BKBs, they need to be able to kill the person. If they don't kill the person, the fight is gonna easily go Boom's way.
Boom starting to feel confident about where things are, just holding onto their control of this dire side of the map, farming their ancients and really limiting TNC's options. We'll be heading towards that next Rosary spawn sometime in the next 3 minutes. As Boom, perhaps in preparation of that, they smoke up, they get the scan, they know roughly where they are, and they're going to get the perfect wraparound here. You see Bok and Armel actually not going for the initial kill. The hooks are going to come out, catches the Kunkka, the push back, the Ravage follow-up, they blow up the Kunkka, you're making sure there's no save. FBZ. Not leaving anything to chance, not letting a potential false promise save the Kunkka there. And now
Where
that
did the
puts
Kunkka
Medusa
go?
on the high ground. There is a buyback though, and Kunkka's going to go for it with the Earth Spike initiation. They go in on Dreamer Cell with the TP damage. Is this going to be enough? The Force Staff's coming into play as Medusa gets the Stone Gaze out and is just going to turn, look to bring down Bok. He uses himself up. That's going to buy a little bit of time here. The egg on the backline, so that's doing all kinds of work as FBVZ just blinks in, tries to do what he can. The Exorcism actually manages to bring down the Clockwork. Tim's in the front line, just jumping forward. Makoto getting very low in the leader, but still surviving through it all. As Bok healed up, he's got the exit, he's running in. TNC, they're doing it. This fight going their way with the Medusa dead and the Tide. They're chasing the leader. That's all 3 cores dead. Ultra kill for Bok. This Exorcism, DP, kept alive, was so low at one point in that fight, but somehow healed all the way through the damage. And TNC win this one.
Yeah, the Oracle didn't even use the ulti. Like, Bok used himself at last like 1 bit of HP, and I think he just like used double ult. He has a Stormcrafter, so
Exactly.
I think Boom just didn't expect that they weren't able to kill the DP there.
I saw the first Yules, then he just instantly dropped, and then he Yules himself again because he had the Stormcrafter, and that just completely threw Boom off as well, I believe.
Yeah,
To the
and
high ground we
boat,
go.
like the boat that comes in that run buff is so important because they just don't die in this, like in the egg, in the Stone Gaze. Like if they don't die in these spells, I've said it during the draft, like TNC are gonna outlast them in the fights. All they need is this run buff on their hero.
Well, one lane. And no buybacks on Tide or Lina. Tide's on cooldown, Lina just without the gold. I don't know if I think TNC are expecting there to be more buybacks. The Medusa commits hers, which is enough to push TNC back, but suddenly that gold lead has disappeared. It's TNC who have Roshan respawning in 10 seconds time. That would be huge if they can get that before the Tide Lina respawn. They're going to have a very small window to do so. Clockwork Rocket Flare actually expires, so we'll maybe see another one fly out to scout this Roche.
Yep, someone needs to stand in the pit right now for TNC. The Roche is up.
They haven't seen it yet. Radiant's seen it, but yeah, TNC, they're going to be potentially in a 5v5, but no, they want the pick off. They catch Kesku, they Finger of Death him through the Ghost Scepter, doing a lot of damage, and he has not got buyback. Would be a 5v4 in the Roshan pit. Both teams getting all their big ultimates back up. Exorcism, Ravage, Stone Gaze.
Someone on TNC needs to X mark and TP back to clear the lanes.
Yeah. Or they just-
Probably Amael himself.
Yeah, those tier 4 towers, you don't want to him take too much damage this early on.
They're trying though. Boom are trying.
And they're coming to contest this one. Even in the 4v5, Dreamer Cell goes running in, Exes from Bok. He gets stoned up immediately. This Dreamer Cell just going to look to disengage. He gets pulled back in by the X. He's losing his mana fast. Has to force staff away. Does not want to hold his ground and fight into the TB. The TB blinking forward. There's the Blink Ravage with the Yule Scepter. It made the stun miss on Gabby. I don't think they've got the damage to deal with them anyways. It's going to be the Supernova stunning them up. Lean on the backline's taking so much damage. Low on the sliver of health. We'll get the hell out of there as Medusa needs to be careful, needs to find an escape. But with the X-Mark gets pulled back in, gets brought down. No buyback on Medusa. And TNC have perhaps turned this game around. They're going to get the Tide Hunter as well. And perhaps forget Roshan. TNC may just be able to close this game out. They've got plenty of time to take Roche as well as go for the high ground. And it looks like they're going to do just that.
Yeah, the Boom team fight heroes, the TIE Hunter, the Phoenix, they were cut off at the side on the right, and they were not able to help the Medusa and the big spell so that the Medusa could do damage. Like, the Medusa was all alone in the river.
And they know, no buyback on Medusa. TP buys a refresher. Unfortunately, there was no refresher shot. It was an Ag Scepter. He's going to be getting a new Metamorph out. They want to close this game. They've got a window now, 90 seconds, no Medusa, and they've got another Metamorph.
Yeah, I think we're seeing it in the fights, right? Like this DP is not a joke. This level 3 EXO against heroes like TIE Hunter and Medusa, the EXO can eat you alive.
We can see why they went for this Oracle DP opener. It is doing wonders here, even though it was a slow start for the offlane Death Prophet. It's really come into play here later on, and they forget going for Megas. They're going straight for the throne. Tier 4 Tower's the first target, and without Egg, without Ravage, what can you do? Boom. It's all up to Makoto, really. He's the only one who deals damage, it feels like, and they've got to go in soon. Tim's going in, gets a nice 2-hero Earth Spike. The Aeon Disc protecting the aggression here as the Finger's going to come out. Takes out Kesku, and now Makoto, he's in all sorts of trouble. He defensively Yules himself. The heal's coming into play with the BKB. Makoto is going to survive his way through this one, but now TP can just focus the throne. Look to get the GG here. Nice 2-hero Impale. Gabby ignoring the throne for now, going for the kills, gets the Tide. It's GG. Game 3, here we come.
80 pom PP.
Woo! This series and the last, these upper bracket teams are just delivering some amazing Dota.
Banger after banger after banger.